this style of play that they're playing without LeBron excites everyone because they know that this is partially the future. LeBron impacts winning. So you're not better without him. The most amazing things about Wemby is when he put that ball on that floor and how he's able to move. I'm gonna hit you with pop. Oh, you're reaching here. I can hit behind my back. I can throw it between my legs. I can go. Like, what are we doing?
That is crazy.
That's crazy. VJ Maxx, cold nickname, by the way. The VJ Maxx nickname,
that is
I'm on board. You want to have these moments and these opportunities to be able to sit there with your chest poked out. And
back straight.
And these guys doing that. So I love to see, these fathers, these black fathers have an opportunity to poke their chests out and feel proud about their kids. Just like kids, I felt proud about them. You know what I mean? Like, Kav loves the fact that I'm her dad. She's proud of it.
You're in sports mode right now.
So, locked in.
Locked in.
Let's go. We back at Fly on the Wall.
Something to watch?
No, it's not new. It was a gift. Do you ever put the T on gift?
Yeah.
Is it silent? Is it just GIF? And F is used to end a lot of words. You know that, right?
I think the T is there. The gift. It's a gift.
It's a gift.
It's a gift.
It depends, right? So, it depends on how you say words. So, if you could say it's a gift and a curse, you might go through the whole word.
Facts.
But if you're just like, oh, here go a gift.
Because you're right. Because I was like, I literally had to go sit there. I did it in my mind. I'm like, so I think the proper, again, who knows what proper is? But for example, you'll see words like some words are just missing whole words. I bet if it's someone coming from another country, I bet English is so frustrating. Because you're like, yo, your words don't make sense.
Yeah, some of it don't, bro. I listen, I can...
a
lot of words that really pisses me off in the language. But I'm sure everybody got that. But yes, here we are. We back.
We're back.
We back. I'm off the road for a minute. And see, I got to spend time with all my kids. You see Trey right here. I got to spend time with everybody when I'm back home. So
Trey was like, it's funny. Trey's been rocking around and rolling around. He was like, yeah, I like this.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring him out more, man. Listen, this guy right here is a great dog. Okay, he's a great companion. He's a great friend. All those things, but he's crazy with other dogs. Like, he's great with human, but with other dogs, insane. He will embarrass you. I've been embarrassed so many times by Trey.
When you say, what's embarrassing me?
Well, he acts like he's like a police dog or something. Like, you know what I mean? Or a pit bull. He acts like he's really tough and big. And so he would,
really?
Bro, this little dude. And you can't do nothing about it. You can't even be like, Trey, calm that shit down. He psycho. He gone. And so I had to put him on you can't travel, you can't move with me on punishment for a little while because he was embarrassing me everywhere we went. So I had to change up the way we hang out. You know what I'm saying? So
I would have never thought that.
Bro, because he's chill, right?
He's always chill.
He's a people dog. Let another dog come in here, and then he gonna act
a fool.
He gonna act a fool. And it gets embarrassing. But anyway, I got to spend time with him. So today I brought him to the office with me today. So he's been hanging out with me. But he's probably going to snore at some point. You guys going to hear snoring. So just be aware.
Be aware. So otherwise, how you been? I'm checking in with you, dog.
Check in. Man, I'm good, bro. I've been on my travel portion of my yearly calendar, of my schedule. I've been in my obviously, we was in China together.
Right.
Spent some time in Macau. Went out there for my China tour, my Li-Ning Wave China tour. But also, we got a chance to tap into the NBA legend side of my life. And I got a chance to tap into the business side when we went to Hong Kong as well.
Right.
Building these rooms and building these tables. So just a lot of travel, for me, out the country. In the country, making sure that, and I know we're going to talk about some of the things and some of the places, but I think what I'm excited about right now is getting through most of that and now being able to really focus on, first and foremost, probably my physical part, my physical wellness. That's one thing that takes a real hit when you're out of your schedule, outside of the things that you're comfortable with.
Right.
When you're traveling, it's hard to get on that kind of cadence and that schedule. So I'm excited about, today was the first day back to waking up at 5:30, making sure I take care of my personal wellness. That's the workout, that's the sauna, that's the cold tub, that's all the things that I need personally for today that I took care of before I came into, office this morning. So just I'm excited about getting back into like a little routine before the holidays come and before our family go, before our family time, take over my entire schedule. But at the same time, I got like birthdays coming up this time. I got a lot of Scorpios in my life. So I'm really in like the heavy part of like family birthdays, being there, spinning my moolah, spinning it in this month. It's all August, November has always been my months where I've always like, almost had that feeling of insufficient funds when you go check your account, like in college. These are the months where I really get deep into my pockets. But that's why I got to focus on my physical and my mental wellness. But yeah, at the same time, man, still working, still grinding, still, trying to build, trying to work on and focus like I was talking to you about. It's really focusing on building up my personal infrastructure and trying to make sure that I can accomplish all the things that I spend time on and making sure I turn, these passion projects into, just a more part of my lifestyle that, obviously, hopefully build businesses out of those things. And so that's why this is important, because we're able to sit here and tell the story,
right?
Of some of those things as well. So, yeah, getting back to it, bro.
That's good. I like the fact that you're saying that we like telling stories, and like, as far as checking it for myself, I just did my colonoscopy.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me. You're over 45, so you got to do that kind of stuff.
Right. So it's interesting because I do actually. This is my second one. The first one I did was when I was 40 because my father passed from colon cancer, and I have a history. We talk about like you got to check your history with your family and kind of seeing what things are. And so the first one was good. Second one is you'll always hear someone talk about colonoscopy, and the one thing they will always tell you is this: the colonoscopy itself ain't the bad part. It's the prep.
It's the prep.
It is the prep. It is
And is it a one-day prep or is it a multiple-day prep before?
So it's a few days technically, but the prep, the full, like the hardcore prep is the day of, 24 hours before your procedure. But you got to kind of like start landing the plane prior to that. Like it ain't like, don't be trying to eat like I'm about to, like sometimes I'm gonna eat a bunch of food right beforehand because your prep is going to suffer.
Yeah.
Because the prep is basically, you got to basically evacuate your body of all the stuff that's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that part, I don't want to get too graphic, but it gets graphic.
Do you feel that the prep and after the prep that you've lost weight, that it's
100%.
You feel cleaner?
I was looking in the mirror like this. I said, I probably shouldn't eat anything for a couple of days because I feel good. Because technically the day before, you're on a clear liquid diet.
On a clear liquid diet, yes. But
you're trying to release everything that you ate the week all the time beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to do all this process. So now you're like, all right. And it's crazy because I did mine in the morning on a Monday morning. So Sunday, AJ had a soccer game and people around. It's the middle of lunchtime. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you fasting.
Boy, it happens every time.
You're fasting, you start smelling food. I was smelling Chipotle. I was smelling everything.
Everything that you love, you get to smell it and see it. You be like, I ain't even thought about Polishes until now.
And now I'm thinking about it. I was thinking about this couple of Chipotle. I know I'm saying, but Chipotle. And I'm like, I want to ask him for something. Sorry, what?
What'd you say the first time?
Chipotle. Chipotle.
You broke down each syllable in that month.
You know how everyone got a word that they mess up? That's like the word.
That's yours, Chipotle?
Bro.
Oh, okay.
Everyone kills me.
That ain't one you need to say often, so that's not a bad one.
Unless you want to
try to have one that you got to say all the time, and you got to, ask. Like I got to make sure I say the word clearly, like all the way through, right? Like I got a lot of words that you got to say often.
You know what? I'm gonna have to start looking at my word bank. But Chipotle.
Like you saying Chicago.
But that word, right? I'm saying some couple, and I'm like, yo, I would love to ask them for something, but I'm like, yo, let me chill. But thankfully, everything was all clear. I gotta wait another 5 years, and I'm good there. But it's interesting because I just did my doctor's visit. Remember my last doctor's visit, right?
Yeah, we covered it.
Yeah, and my experience was kind of like what kind of assurance I got, kind of visit. I learned now. I started this process. I'm using this service prior to my doctor's visit, where I went to go see this thing called Function Health, where they check all my blood. And my doctor was like, I brought her the paperwork, and she was like, yo, this is great. And I'm like, she's like, yo, you bring this, like she brought this, you should have sent this to me weeks ago. And I'm like, well, this is what I was doing on my own. I was thinking that you're going to do some your own work. You want me to do work for you before I come here? But I get the fact that this is a partnership because it was interesting because as we were talking, she was telling me, all right, I like this. And she's like, I might have to get on a glucose monitor. You know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't at first. But I was like, I don't got diabetes though. She's like, you're not necessarily have diabetes, but you have insulin resistant. I'm like, she said, I'm like, what does that do? And she's like, well, are you trying to like lose any weight? I said, well, she said, has it been a little tough? She said, yeah, because some things you got to monitor all those things. And I'm like, so there's like all these technology.
That's why it's not good to go on just any random fast.
Facts.
Because you don't know all these metrics about your body, right?
Bro.
You don't know all this. And so you just go on any fast, you're killing yourself. You
Facts.
don't even know it.
Right, and that's something that she told me, like, yo, you gotta like, she was a big advocate about like wearing wearables and stuff like that, just understanding your body. And like being very clear about what you need to do to work on your body. Like you may, when you eat coffee, or when you drink coffee, or when you eat, or when you work out, during the times of the days that you're doing it, it may not be the best for you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so you might want to start at least tracking that. So now I'm being more proactive with that. So it was a good visit. I ain't gonna lie, it was a good visit. I'm excited. I'm actually looking forward to, doing my blood work again. I'm doing my vitamins now. I'm on this regimen where I'm like,
So that besides the physical, what you would like to get out of it physically, what is the mental exercise? Like, what is the mental exercise of that? Like, because for me, like, yes, I get things out of all the things I said I did this morning physically.
Right.
Which makes me feel better. But I think more so than anything, it's the mental
Facts.
part of it, right? It's those endorphins that flows outside of that flows out, and like you able to like mentally feel great. How's the mental part of you like adding this into like a regimen of yours?
A peace of mind, I think. I think it gives me a good peace of mind because I started like just walking a lot. It's something so random. And I was talking to a trainer friend of mine, and she was like, yo, just walk. Like, she's like, just walk. That's going to be the easiest thing to do. And if you can just get to a point where you're walking like 3-6 miles a day, which
that's solid.
When you think about the fact that we technically don't really walk that much, but if you just like, you on the phone call, just get out and walk. And I've been doing that for the last couple months, right? And I got down to like 4 miles a day, every other day or whatever.
Oh, good
and
shit,
to see my steps like, seeing like the little mark 10,000 steps, 12,000 steps. I'm like, oh shit.
How long does that take you?
So I have to do it in 2 steps. My first 2.5 miles takes me about 45 minutes. And I'm walking on hills, so I'm doing inclines and declines. And so I can get to 12,000 steps usually about dinner time.
Okay.
And I'm like, good.
So, okay.
On the days that I do my walking, some days I don't do the walking. I'm like, damn, I'm at 6,000 steps. And I'm like, damn. But I say as far as my mental, what I will say has been doing for me is that I've been feeling like this gave me a peace of mind of like, all right, I feel like I'm doing stuff to actively help myself. And that part has been big. Because, you look at, you like, man, I look at my family history and I'm like, man, listen, my old boy passed earlier than we thought we should. My uncle passed and all these things. And I'm like, I don't want that for me. Like, I want to be there as long as I can for my children and as healthy as I can. Because even just the fact that I can walk 2.5, 3.5, 4 miles after having surgery. Because I remember telling you, when I had the surgery, I thought I was done. Mind you, I never had surgery before.
Yeah, because you're not an athlete.
Okay, so, but no, I might have been a strong athlete. Like, LeBron ain't had that much surgeries because he was built like a machine. I thought I was built the same way too. And so for me, I remember the first couple of years, I was like, yo, I'm done. I can't walk no more. Now I'm running again. I'm like doing hills and I'm like, yo, let me keep this up. That part right there, that mental.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest part, right? It's like, well, it's like anything else. Like none of this work gonna show unless you put it in. And so once you're able to start it,
right,
you don't want to stop it or start it over all the, like you're gonna have to at times.
Yeah.
Like you gotta kind of move how life is moving for you. You gotta move with life. And so sometimes life is gonna take you where you are traveling, you on the road, you can't do this, you can't have this. And you gotta kind of move with that. But hopefully you built like enough of a foundation and a base. So once you back into like your, regular regimen, now you could jump right back in it. And so that's how I try to approach it. Is like, I know if I'm traveling for 2 weeks out of this month, or if I'm traveling for a month out of 3 months, that I probably pick up 5 to 7. because I'm out there eating all this comfort food because I'm not in my comforts.
Right.
And so you're always trying to find those comforts wherever you go. And so I might pick up a few, right? But like, I don't want to be too far away. So once I do get back into it, that I can't mentally jump back into it, because a lot of it is the mental part of it more so than even the physical to jump back into it.
Thanks.
And so it's important to, once you find that, you know, something that's working for you, man, exhaust it as long as you can. You know what I'm saying? So you can get yourself to a foundation and a base that you can pick back up from when you don't have time to do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's the cheat code. I'm thank you for that, because I'm like, so you're saying when you get back into it from a long hiatus, that first couple of times you burn it, you go to the max.
When I say exhausted, as in I try to stay in it as long as possible.
Gotcha.
So like today I'm about to start eating better now that I'm back home for a few weeks. I'm about to start working out. You know, obviously I'm going to take a day off in a week. I may even take 2, but like I'm about to now get back onto these things. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to stay in this pocket for as long as I can before it gets broken. So if I know I'm home for 2 weeks, then I need to stay in this pocket for 2 weeks straight.
Got you.
Because I'm about to travel for a week. And so if I'm home for a month, I need to stay in this pocket for a month straight. And I need to force myself to not see that ab and be like, oh, I'm good now. I can go eat this chicken sandwich. No, I got to stay into this pocket to keep that foundation, because at some point, I'm going to get out of this rhythm, right? Like everything is like, okay, now I'm in this new cadence, I'm in this new rhythm, but it doesn't stay that way.
Right, facts.
All the time when you have so many different things going on, so many moving parts. Like we have significant others, we have kids, we have businesses that we're trying to create, you know, ways to, all these things that you have to now do, it takes you away from that sometime. And so if you could stay in this pocket that you're in, don't get out of it until you have to get out of it. That's kind of how I try to approach it. So I'm in mine for the next, 2.5 weeks, however long I'm here. I'm in this everyday cadence now. I'm like, all right, alarm clock stays on 5:30. So now it forces me to be like, yo, you gotta have to get more sleep, because you gotta get up every morning at this time, because, obviously you wanna be a part of these different things. Your daughter's going to school. You wanna, you may wanna get up early, you may wanna meditate, or you wanna get up early because you got early calls, you got meetings, or you got personal things you wanna do. You gotta now get up each day at this time and get yourself on that cadence, because I haven't been on it. And so today was my first day back on that
cadence.
This cadence. And now tomorrow I can't wake up at 6:30 when I cannot get out of this cadence because I started. And I'm going to stay in this cadence until I leave or until the holidays, because that's when you're going to break.
Facts. So the discipline, and it's crazy because we actually going way, I wasn't planning on going here, but like, what kind of discipline for you think, because I'm going to say that's discipline. You might not know that.
Oh, I know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because that is like, to be disciplined enough to say that, all right, when I get back, I got to lock in and just do my, do you think that contributes to from like just your past of just playing sports? Is that something that you feel like you've always had, just being locked in and just disciplined? Because again, it's easy to just say, I'm just, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. I struggle with discipline like anybody else. And it's so many different areas that show up where your discipline lacks.
Right.
Then you got certain areas where your discipline is strong. And so for me, it's this constant battle every day. And I talked about this a little bit when I sat down across from Bob Iger. Him and I talked about these personal challenges that we both personally give ourselves.
I remember that.
That no one on the outside even understands that you're doing. I may give myself this 15-minute challenge to get ready and get out the door, right? I'm challenging myself, and I'm racing against my own clock in a sense, right? So for me, it's really about understanding that it's going to be struggle and discipline, and it's a mental challenge more so than anything.
Right.
And I have to battle that. I have to have so many conversations with myself. Like this morning, I set my alarm for 5:30. That mug went off at 5:30. I had to talk to myself about not laying in that bed any longer than 5 minutes after the alarm went off, because I knew I had a plan for my day and what I wanted to accomplish all before my first meeting at 9:30. So I was like, all right, you got 4 hours. You want to accomplish all these things before 9:30, then you have to get up now. But bro, that wasn't easy. It wasn't easy it was cold outside. My cold tub right now is outside, right? It wasn't easy getting in that 41-degree cold tub this morning before, I got in the shower and get out the door. But this is all a part of my discipline of what I said. These are the things that I'm going to accomplish today, I'm going to do. And so let me see you quit on you is my mentality, because a lot of times you be like, nah, I get it later. You didn't just quit on yourself. And so this is all my personal challenges, but this is it's so hard. And this is just I'm just talking about this morning discipline, but we got all kind of other disciplines. Right. I got a discipline tonight if I'm watching the games not to go get them chocolate chip cookies, them Toll House that I like to heat up. I got a whole nother thing that's waiting for me at the crib. And I noticed too, now that I'm back on TV and we're gonna talk about Prime, is now I'm watching the game more, right? I'm watching these other, networks. I want to see, like, kind of, since it's all new, how's it flow different than our flow. But now I'm staying up later because the games stay a little late. So now my 9 o'clock bedtime that I want to get up at 5:30 is a little different. Nice. So now I gotta I gotta have discipline on where I spend my time, how I'm spending my time, because I'm trying to accomplish something physically for myself that's gonna help me in all these other areas that when we talk about the work, the job of my life that I'm not even talking about. And so it starts with discipline. It starts for me of, all right, what are you trying to accomplish? Whether it's today, whether it's for the month, whether it's for whatever it is, right? And now you got to go and you got to put, you got to put, it's against you, it's you versus you then.
Versus you.
And so, yeah, man, having a strong mind is the hardest thing to do. I always say, like, how am I going to prove myself right through this process that I know I can look a certain way, feel a certain way, do these things. I have to put in the work. Like your doctor wanted you to, you had to do that. You had to have the appetizer before you got to the main course, which is her. She wanted you to do the work first.
Right.
And so I do my work first, then I go out and I try to now stay disciplined to, the game plan. Let's use basketball. And so that's the journey, that's the challenge. That's my own personal challenge. Every day I got to own my own personal challenge, right? When I'm on that clock. And then sometime I'm off that and I'm off that.
Vacation mode.
Yeah, that ain't.
I get it.
I'm packing it all up in these areas with vacay mode. So.
I love it. Well, my vacay mode been a little longer than yours, I think. But I'm gonna fix that. I'm working on that. So now we just came out of Halloween, right? And I just saw a picture of you.
Which one? Because I
you did.
I haven't dressed up in a while.
You haven't.
I haven't. My wife and I was going so heavy and so strong that I was like, I need a break. And
that was going hard.
We was going hard. We was going tough. And normally because her birthday is right by Halloween, and she normally do a party that breeds that kind of energy. And so, when I have my times to just kind of chill, I kind of chill, and especially it's become Kov's favorite day. And now I just been like supportive dad.
Of course.
But Kov was like, Dad, you got to dress up this year. And I was like, all right, well, what do you want me to be? And that's how you saw one of my situations.
So did you watch the movie?
Oh, I've seen Kpop Demons a trillion times.
So yeah, some
I went to sleep on, some I watched.
Right.
Go.
But now, first off, it's a good movie.
Very good.
It's a very good movie. My daughter made me watch it too, and I was like, yo, this is pretty good. Like, the music was good. Like,
wait, did you watch it at home or did you watch it because they took it to theater?
I heard.
That's when I thought it was a new movie. I was like, oh, I haven't seen this version. They was like, no, it's the same. They just started it streaming first and then took it to theater. I was like,
because it was taking over everything.
Yeah, so I didn't go to the movie theaters and see it. My daughter did, but I've seen it a trillion times sitting on different couches.
I mean, telling you, it is a thing. But for now, so do you, outside of that, have you watched or followed K-pop after that or before that?
I mean, I'm a little versed. I'm not well versed on K-pop. I'm around a lot of people who are, so I can hear a couple things. But I know enough, about the K-pop like universe and like the draw to the artists in K-pop, and then how long these groups stay a group before they got to go off and do these other things that they represent for their countries, et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm learning a lot more about it as my daughter's now into K-pop. But the character Jin knew who I was.
The fact that you know the name.
I mean, I'm sure the kids said different than me, but when I look at it, they like Jinnu to me. Jinu. And my daughter was like, I want you to be Jinnu. I knew who it was because I watched it, and I'm like, cool, I could be the human Jinnu, or I gotta be the demon Jinnu. And so she was like, no, the human Jinnu. So I'm like, cool. So I was able to dress up as like, one of the cool, guys in the group.
Yeah, he is pretty cool in the movie. He is pretty cool in the movie. You remember when we was in I don't know if you remember this. We were I think either going or leaving Beijing or leaving Shanghai, and there was a K-pop group coming through.
Oh yeah, I remember. We was in the airport. Yeah.
And they just moved you and us to the side.
Like we weren't even standing there, brother.
I mean, there was a large crowd running.
But through the entire airport. And through customs and everything.
Busting through. And it was like, we thinking they coming for you, and they're like, excuse me, sir, could you move out the way?
Y'all want to know how embarrassing it is to hear some cheers going on. You like, and then they walk up and you think you preparing yourself to take photos or sign autographs, and then they just go right past you.
It's literally, shoom.
Oh, those guys?
I wish I knew. I'm going to find out the name of the group again, because I remember somebody told us about it, and I was like, yo, we are not the ones anymore.
No. Like, we literally had to move out all the way out the way.
All the way out the way.
Because it was like, they had a whole group of people following me.
So,
I was just like, we don't want to even get caught up in that. We don't want to be in the backdrop of their photos just walking, because, it can hurt your ego. You be around people who way more famous than you, if that's a part of your ego setup. You know what I'm saying? If somebody being more popular or more famous than you is a part of the way your ego is set up, then don't be around anybody from the K-pop universe. Because you don't exist.
What was your favorite Halloween costume that you could remember right now? If it's not Genu.
Milli Vanilli.
Ooh.
Milli Vanilli, my wife and I did that in Cleveland. Bron throws big Halloween parties. And so I've been able to go to a few of them. And in Cleveland, he did one, and we did a Milli Vanilli vibe. That was one of my favorites, just because I got to just jump into character. You know what I'm saying? With a wig, with a costume, and feel like you're someone else. And so I enjoy that. Yeah.
That is a good one. That was a good one. So I've had some good ones, but it's funny. This year we did this
6'7".
Yeah. First off, do you even know what it means?
First of all, that's exactly what it means.
Right?
Either or. 6'7". It's kind of like that. It's kind of like when someone does this, that means either or. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, 6'7".
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of gives me that vibe. So from my interaction with kids and I see them do the 6'7", it's just the same thing as us saying, I don't know. It ain't no different. It's just a cooler, more, thing to say.
How do you think that became so popular?
I have no idea. I don't know how most things become popular. Most of the time it has to start outside of America before it becomes popular, first of all.
Facts.
But, it's just a social world that we live in, man. Someone says something that's catchy. We're in a world now where I was sitting there talking to Zaya. I was up in her university, and we were out to dinner, and she was telling a story. And in the midst of it, she was like, yeah. And then, I did a 180 and kept going. And I was like, what do you mean you did a 180? What does that got to do with the story? Because I'm basketball. I know what a 180 looks like. And she's like, oh, Dad, well, I just turned around. And I was like, so you just didn't want to say, yeah, he was talking to me and I just turned around. You was like, yeah, and I did a 180. I was like, that's actually kind of cold, though. So, I'm telling you, it's so many of these new terms that is coming out, and I actually ain't mad at it. I understand, it has, the meaning is very similar to our meaning. Her 180 is us saying, turn around, or 6'7" is us saying, I don't know, whatever it is.
Right.
They just made it actually a little cooler, shorten it up a little bit, then put a little, you know what I'm saying, a little something to it.
Little something.
Yeah, they didn't put a little season on it, you know what I'm saying? So for giving you that, the dry food. So I appreciate it. Actually, some of it's I can't stay in on everything that's going on. It's too much.
Too much.
But when I do find something like 6'7", I'm like, I utilize it at times, because there's times where you be like, man, what's the address? 6'7". Just have fun with it if your address starts with 6'7", because it's it's just something to make people smile, I think. And you see kids is taking over a certain. I think the one I've seen socially that's really cool is I think Chick-fil-A.
So it's probably similar to the one I saw for In-N-Out.
Okay, it might have been In-N-Out. Right. So when they get the ticket number and it's 6'7", and everybody go crazy.
It is wild.
It's wild. Or I saw kids at a basketball game, once they scored 67, everybody went, wow. So it is cool that it's become this phenomenon that's taken on something even bigger than the young man who created 6'7". It's now taking on this whole thing now where parents are like, I'm sick of it. It's become bigger than just a social conversation. And so I like it.
So now, when you see cool stuff that's in the ethos, do you use that? And I'm gonna take it now to Prime, Because now you're back on TV.
Mm-hmm. Would I use it?
Would you use it?
Yeah. Man, let me be up there. And something happened. And Luka scores 67. Because this is stuff that can happen nowadays, right? Scoring 60s. In a game of basketball, I mean, obviously it's always been there. But let's say something happened in a game where someone does something and is going to a commercial break and I got to roll out. All right, a rollout is you may got 10 seconds as, Bob just got a steal and went down and, got a dunk. So I'm rolling out, going to the commercial. And I'm talking. And like that dunk made y'all have 67. I'm going to use it at that point. But you may not see me, but you're going to feel it. I'm saying 6-7. I don't know how I'm going to utilize it, but I will find a moment to try to throw. The biggest thing is when you're on TV is I'm on TV to entertain. And I'm also understand the me being on TV to educate, simplify the game, take you into huddles, take you into moments and conversations and things that you on the outside you're like, ooh, I want to know what they saying. We could take you into the locker room. We could take you into the mindsets. I understand all that, but also too, I understand ultimately you want there to entertain.
Thanks.
And so like even now, I've done one game for Amazon for Prime on NBA. Not Amazon, Prime on NBA. And I understand that I was working with Kevin Harlan, who is one of the GOATs in the play-by-play.
Yep.
I was working with Candace Parker, who has, really become incredible in analyzing the game of basketball, building her own brand, her own voice. And I have never really done this before. I've done it in the Olympics, but I've never done it in the NBA. And so I'm not coming in to be the star of this team. I'm coming in to be a complimentary player on this team. It's like, right. You really come in and got to understand what role you have to play. But in the midst of it, I'm going to bring some entertainment because I'm silly too. You're going to hear me on there saying, ooh, like I'm just going to be like, I watched the game. Right. But I'm going to bring some form of entertainment or some silly 6-7s or things like that. And then also too, give you these little nuggets. But I think having multiple platforms allows me not need to show everybody that I know the game of basketball.
Right.
And I'm going to take every second that I'm on this microphone and try to, I know the game. I've won. Listen to me. It's more so like, what is my role on this team and what do I need to bring this game? And so game one, it was not trying to be the lead analyst, really trying to be the supporting analyst and understanding that it's okay to play different roles, different games depending on who you're working with.
Right.
And so I had a great time being a supporting analyst next to, someone who I call a sister in Candace. And they just have fun talking about the game of basketball.
I like you have fun.
Yeah. And then other moments I had time to like go more into it. When I get to studio, maybe I have time to go into the game a little bit more, talk about the player a little bit more, talk about the mindset a little bit more. You just got to find the right moments when you're on TV to do that. And so I'm learning in real time. I'm learning all the cadences that goes on and like what people don't see because all you do is hear our voice for the most part.
Right.
And so it's a lot going on behind the scenes to get.
I can imagine.
Right. To get to to get to the voices to be able to be a part of the game.
How close is it to, or how similar was it to like your stuff that you did for the Olympics? Like in the sense of like, the process. Is the process similar? Or is it like
it's a lot of similarities.
Okay.
Right? And just to give you the process of it, before our first game, obviously we had multiple conversations and meetings. We met here at the studio as a group, as a team, really to talk about and get a feel for each other and when I'm talking about everyone, who's in front of the camera, who's behind the camera, who voice you see, voice you don't, and the voice you hear, the voices you don't hear. So it took, us taking some weeks of having those meetings. And then once you get to the actual day before, you get to the actual day, now you got a similar cadence where you have a production call in the mornings, day of games or the day before, whatever makes you comfortable. And then from there, you got a certain time where you got to be at the arena. So for me, my first day, I had to be at the arena about 4:30. Right. So it's like a game day for me. Like I'm like, I gotta get my hair cut, gotta get my lunch in. Like I try to learn in my cadence. I gotta take my clothes, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I gotta be there about 4:30 and then I get about 35 minutes. No, I'm sorry, we got about 15 minutes before we do a team meeting. We do another team meeting to kind of reset. Hey, these are the things we talked about. Hey, is there anything you guys want to talk about? Hey, what about this and that? So we kind of go through that, set up the whole day, set up the schedule for the day. And then from there, now, this was my first time doing this portion. What up, bro? And my first time interviewing coaches. And so the visitor coach, Chris Finch on the Minnesota sideline came in first. So he came in around 5:05. You get about 15, 20 minutes to sit there with the coaches. Hey, ask them any questions because these are some of the things you're going to bring out on TV, right, on the broadcast. Coach Finch said, this is what they're trying to do. So you get a chance to ask any question about players, about style, about system, about mindsets, whatever you want to ask. And so that was cool. And then JJ comes in at 5:30. And now we sat there with JJ, head coach of the Lakers, and we sit there and we do the same thing. And I think it's really cool because you already have like some of your keys of like, this is what I want to talk about when I have the chance to talk. I want to talk about Jaden McDaniels. I want to talk about Rui Hachimura. I want to talk about whatever the things you want to talk about, so you get to ask the coach that. So now they're giving you, obviously, the answers to your questions in the test.
Oh.
And so it was real cool to be able to do that process, which we didn't do any of that in the Olympics at all. And then from there, it was kind of like, all right, after that, now your next time you got to show up is we got to warm up at 6:45 before we go live at 7, just to kind of get the cadence of Kevin saying this, Candace is saying this, Dwyane is saying this, these are the points, let's do a run through of it, and then boom, we live at 7. And so you go live at 7, you have your, you know what you're going to talk about, and you try to go and you do that. But you got these bites. You got about a 15 to 30 second window to talk about whatever it is that you're talking about, the conversation. And so it was really cool, man, just understanding everything, working with Kevin Harlan, working with Candace, just seeing like when you work with other pros, we work with other people who you feel like, an extension of like really, really like Kevin Harlan was like the coach of the team at that point. And he was coaching us and helping us while he was doing his Kevin Harlan thing. Oh, but at the same time, he's written something that he's given to me. And I'm like, okay, so I know whatever it is, right?
Dope.
And so it's dope. A lot going on. And at it was a point, Bob, where I've never really, it was an instant replay. The producer in my ear, like, hey, we're going to, in all of our ear, hey, we about to show this instant replay. Candace hit me like, boom. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to talk about it. Like, it's a cadence. You have 3 people, and then you have a sideline reporter who, Allie Clifton was our sideline reporter who, shout out to Allie, who I knew in Cleveland. Now we have this, kind of now cool working relationship, and she was on the other side when I was playing. Now I'm on the same side, and we already have a relationship. And so it's us 4 there, but then you got your team back at the studio. Then you got your production team that's, in the trucks or whatever. So it's a big team, and everyone's helping you get all the information you need, tell the stories you need, and put on this, this performance, vocally for the audience. So you can become a part of the game, but you don't want to take over. You want the game to be highlighted.
Right.
You want the players to be highlighted, but also too, you are a voice of this game. So, bro, so much I learned in just one sitting, getting the chance to just sit down and talk about the game. But like, I was doing this game in Lakers universe. I'm sitting there getting courtside seat because you can't just reach out to the Lakers and get any courtside seat. So this is the best seat that I'm going to get right here. I done been turned down plenty of times on the seats I thought I was going to get up in crypto. I ain't never played there, so I ain't got no ego about it. I'm like, okay,
that is what it is.
I'm going to watch at home. But I got a chance to be there and, get that experience up close. So it was really cool, bro. But it's so much to learn, and the difference between in-game versus in studio. You got to learn the different ways to, kind of do TV, I guess.
So you was at a Laker game. So now, how do you feel like, because the Lakers, they've been playing. And every year we are in LA. Shout out to the Dodgers, by the way.
Shout out to the Dodgers, man.
We'll get talking about them in a few. But the Lakers, so what do you think about the Lakers so far? Because they've been doing some things.
I like what they're doing. All the questions that was asked to me, like, what are you going to be looking forward to coming into the season? Main thing I said was like, I'm focused on Luka. Luka was number 1 on my list because I wanted to see how Luka was going to, somebody got a big truck.
That's a dually.
I feel like it's in the studio.
I was like, damn.
We're going to let him drive away.
Yeah. So he came with that room.
You hope it ain't one of them situations where he just heating the car up just to sit. That sounded like when Matt pulled up to the wellness, when we was doing the timeout, when Matt pulled up, we heard him. Lakers. Yeah, so that's what I was looking forward to, was seeing how Luka was going to approach this season. Obviously, the biggest news in basketball last year was Luka getting traded, right? That's when the NBA season really started last year. And so, tough year. tough half of a year for him to come and try to adjust to his new surroundings, his new teammates, his new expectations, all this. And so I wanted to see how he was going to approach this year. Got a chance to see him over the summer and see how he approached this summer, taking care of his body, shedding everybody up when it comes to his weight and all the things that people, like to pull at when it comes to greatness. And he came back and like, yeah, I'm on the cover of Men's Health. Holla at me. You know what I mean? But then also, too, I just want to see how he was going to approach it. And I think one of the best things that's happened to not only him, but also AR, Rui, and all these guys is that LeBron has been out. Because, they're going to have to make an adjustment at some point to, you say adjust to LeBron James. But, it allowed for Luka to lead the show. And obviously he's brought in to be the future of the Lakers. And so it allowed us to see Dallas Luka again, in a sense.
Yes.
Right?
That's what we're seeing.
But also to see his evolution and his growth, or see how well he plays with another guy like Khari that's, good with the ball in his hand. How does he play with that dynamic? AR is that other guy who's showing you that he can score 40 and 52. And so I really love what the Lakers doing. Shout out to JJ and their coaching staff, man. Last year was his first year as a coach, and I'm one of them. I signed up to the JJ experience, where I think he's going to be a great coach in our league. But it's really good to see the adjustments that they're willing to make, that they've made in year two, that I don't know if people from the outside are really looking at, even when it comes to schemes, whether it's offensive schemes or defensive schemes. One of the biggest defensive schemes they made is how Luka is portrayed or highlighted in the defense, because they know that people are going to pick on Luka defensively, right? Offensively, he got everything in the bag, so the only way you can get him is try to get him tied on the other end or try to put him in all these actions. They've done an incredible job of creating this kind of zone around Luka that has allowed for him to, play to his strengths. And that's the one thing that I watched. And so you can see these things. You can see them having, this season under their belt and seeing how they come back and they're smarter with how to utilize the talent that they have. Everyone is not the same. You can't just, make everyone the same. Right. And so how do you make Luka protected on the defensive end of the floor, so utilizing his strengths and the other team don't get to utilize and weaponize his weaknesses? And so JJ and his coaching staff have done an amazing job of building a system that everybody can get behind and focus on to make them a better defensive team. So this has been interesting watching how an organization brings in a superstar and how they, allows him to play towards his strengths, but also, too, how do they build something around what we look at as someone's weaknesses? Right. As I talked about, it's not just about your strengths, it's also about your weaknesses. So Lakers, man, they're doing an incredible job early in this season without, obviously one of the greatest players to play the game, no matter how old he is. Still. And they holding it down. And even with Luka being out, AR taking that number one option and just seeing how inspired all those guys are to play with each other, I think is the most important thing. But some big adjustments. Marcus Smart coming in. Probably not a big signing to everybody out there, because you kind of lost Marcus once he left Boston, right? Huge signing for the Lakers. Huge. Everything he brings to that team from a backup point guard perspective, from his intensity defensively. When he come in, he changes basketball games, his shot-making ability, as well. And so I love these little adjustments that they made. And, when I was on a telecast, I was like, while LeBron's out, I need Rui to go to this level. I need Rui to go to that mindset of I'm scoring 18 to 24 a night level, because they need that third guy, right? And so the interesting part of the season is to watch and see those guys. Yeah, who takes the baton. Who's willing to take the baton, who can actually take the baton, who needs to stay in the position that they in and not do anything more. Like, we're getting a chance to see all that. And so the Lakers was a good example of that without one of their, obviously, featured guys. How are we going to start off this season? How are we going to, obviously stay afloat, and get off to a good start without having a guy who we've been building around for however long Bron's been here?
I don't know if you heard, I be on social media, about how some people were saying, well, you know what, they actually might be all right without him. I already know what you're going to say.
What does that mean?
Right. Like, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, this is just week 1.
But they hope in the future, they hope he don't play forever, so they hope.
But that was just interesting to see how people were like, they were so quick to forget. Like, and that's, and I guess use the player who, that's just part of the game, I guess. People always feel like they always want to push the older guy out. Right, always want to push the older guy out, and I never thought I'd see the day, but I guess at some point you would hear just the chatter, like this could be this is the worst thing that could have happened for Bron to see that they're doing very well, because in it's an adjustment period that has to happen, obviously. So there's still gonna be an adjustment period, but if people what they say, they miss the forest with the trees. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like how, I'm interested to see how people like looking at when this obviously gets back, because this is actually a good thing. Like now guys will start playing well, but I'm just interested to see how people forget, like, well, come on now, like let's stop being so short-sighted. And I'm like, I wonder what other people think, because most players saying these same things, and I'm like, really though? So you've been there, you've obviously played with number 23, and you hear this, you're like, your mindset is like, come on, like what is your thought process? And also you're on the other side too now, because now you also got to think of it from a management perspective.
Well, first of all, let's take name out of it and let's just talk about the impact of a player. You're talking about a player that still averages over 22 points a game, over 5 assists and over 5 rebounds, right? You're talking about a player who can average over that no matter what age they are, whatever the case may be.
Which is crazy.
So not a lot of teams have the luxury of having a player that can make that kind of impact. Now let's put on the greatness of LeBron James and, you know, all the things that he comes with, the attention that he gathers by being who he is and his ability to, you know, do all the things that we've always seen him do. I think outside of people always trying to say, you know, everyone's always looking for who's better, who does this. They ready to kick you. Once you're on that, they're always ready to bring you down. So that's not surprising. I think you should wait and get a whole year of what the Lakers can do if LeBron was out for the whole year. Then you can come back next season and say, well, we don't.
Right.
You can't give me 7 games. I listen, I didn't start it off on the team where we start off good in the beginning of the year and then we didn't make the playoffs. I don't know if I've done that, but I've seen teams go through that. And so
yeah.
I don't, that's a short-minded way of thinking. I understand newness. I understand how, first of all, we don't like change, but also too, we get excited for newness.
You do.
And so the excitement that this style of play that they're playing without LeBron excites everyone because they know that this is partially the future.
Right.
And so you want to get to the future now when you still have a guy that, you know, he ain't going nowhere yet. And this ain't a guy you kicking out. This is a guy who's going to walk off when he's ready.
When he's ready.
And who can still play the game of basketball. So an impactful basketball player, you are never better without an impactful basketball player. Someone who impacts winning. You're better without someone who's just about numbers. LeBron impacts winning. So you're not better without him. Right. You figured out a game that allows you to be really good in his absence, but understanding it's a long season. What happens when my guy that's, you know, carrying the load needs to take some time off because, you know, he needs to take time off, or 2, his body has told him I'm shutting down for 2 weeks. Then what? Are you better without him then? Like right. you have to look at this holistically over an entire season to see, you know, if you're better without someone of that caliber. And so I don't drink the Kool-Aid when people, you know, say that. But do they look good? You know, right now, yeah, they look good right now. But you know, let's get a stretch where they play 11 games and let's see if they got 7 teams that's above 500 that they got to beat in all those games. Let's see how they look at a portion when everybody got their game together. You catching people early is good. You know what I mean? And when you got a dynamic guy like Luka and then you got a guy like AR who's taking that next step in his game, yeah, it's going to be hard. But at some point, they're going to start putting schemes and stuff around in place and they're going to make this guy beat you, and now it becomes a different game, right? So I think that's just how it is. As I said last year, the James name and family, it's going to bring controversy or it's going to bring conversation.
All day.
And everyone is always jumping up, throwing their hand up for this faceless and voiceless, you know, conversation of what needs to happen.
Right.
I can't wait to sit and be a part of it. My next game that I'm going to do, hopefully LeBron's back. It's right after Thanksgiving. It's Lakers versus Dallas. Hopefully he's back by then. And we can see, you know, kind of how you integrate LeBron into hopefully everyone's healthy that's playing well. Aiden's playing well, right? Hopefully you can integrate him. And he's a smart enough player to sit back and be like, okay, I see where Aiden likes the ball. I see where I can push him to do these things more. I see how I can motivate him, incentivize him. Okay, I see how I can get out of the way here and let that guy work. Also, too, I see where the gaps is missing and where I can come in and plug in as well with my greatness to be able to do multiple things on this floor. And so that's what I want to see. You know, he's still playing this game because there's something in it for him. And let's see what he gets out of it. So, like, I don't believe it all. I like that they have something to be excited about. Right. But if you're going to win a championship, right, if you're going to get to that level again, back to that, then you want all your weapons. And you got one of the biggest ones, you know, sitting over there with great posture, by the way. My man got... When I was doing the telecast, I was about to get on my guy. I like to talk stuff, man. I like to have fun. But I left him alone on the first one. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So I don't that doesn't matter to me. I think, but I think it's always good to have conversation around our game and our players, right? And so right now the conversations around the Lakers, this is number one. Some depending on the Knicks, how they doing when it comes to, you know, generating revenue in all the places when it comes to this sport that we play. So it's great to have another conversation around the Lakers.
So now I'm going to tell another player that they talk about the alien down in San Antonio. And his start this season, like, you know, he's been doing a lot. You know, you've seen it over the summer. He was trying a bunch of different things as far as like getting his body ready and his mind ready. Do you like what you're saying?
Love it. Love it. I heard, I don't know all the statistics, but I heard this about Wemby. At this point in how many games he's played in the NBA, he has more points than LeBron James at the same time, right? He has more blocks than, let's say, Akeem Olajuwon, right? He has more assists. Like than like Magic. Like he has he's in the amount of games he's played so far, he's above Mount Rushmore talent. He has more threes than Steph Curry at the same time. Now, we know Steph piled them joints on
right
as he got really cooking and going. But like that gets everyone excited when someone is in the same conversation as, you know, the people that are our GOATs or our Mount Rushmores.
I didn't know that. That's dope.
Yeah, I heard that and I was like, yeah. So when you look at it, you like, this is the greatest player I've ever seen. Because he can do all the things of all of my favorite players or all the great players of our game. And he's, at this point, he's doing it at a higher level than they did it at, right? But all at the same time.
Same time.
So I think one of the most amazing things about Wemby is when he put that ball on that floor and how he's able to move. I think it's so impressive with his combinations. I'm going to hit you with a pop-up. Oh, you're reaching here. I can hit behind my back. I can throw it between my legs. I can go. Like, what are we doing?
That is crazy.
That's crazy. And so his talent is incredible. And I think one thing outside of his talent that we get a chance to see is his mindset. Like, what kind of mindset does this guy with all his talent has? Because sometimes we see a lot of guys with talent, but they don't have the mindset that we think they should have to get to this certain level, right? This guy seemed to have a whole different approach and a different mindset to greatness.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to see because Michael Jordan had an approach. Kobe Bryant had an approach. LeBron James has an approach. Steph Curry has an approach. Everyone has a different approach to greatness.
Right.
And Wemby's feels different. It feels fresh, you know, refreshing. You know, like he went to spend time with the monks. I ain't seen nothing like that since maybe Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was doing his yoga and
bro,
you know what I'm saying? Namaste vibes. Like I ain't seen nothing like that. So like that was interesting. But like it's good to be able to see like, okay, like what is his why did he reach out to Kevin Garnett? What's his mentality? Why he want to be around a guy who, you know, cuss at himself all the time and just talk shit to himself all the time, but like obviously a guy who picked up 1 through 5, 94 feet, that can bring the ball up, that can do all these things. And so he's reaching out to these individuals. Why? Why is he doing these things? And so I think one of the coolest things about Wemby for me is what kind of mindset is this guy going to have? Yes, we need him to be healthy to accomplish all these things that we hope, but like the mindset is going to take him from, right? What we have in a conversation about him in that room of Mount Rushmore, because there's only 4. And so that's exciting, bro.
No, it's been very exciting just to see him just like either that. I tell people if he starts doing what we think he can do.
Well, if he started doing what he's doing now.
Right. But that's the thing, because before the season started, he'd be like, he's doing what we think he can do. Like we never thought he could do that, but he's doing it.
We thought he was.
Oh man, because again, you gotta look at the player that you look at that has like all the energy level all the way to the max. Height, speed, like everything's just maxed out.
He's 99 overall or
everything. And I'm like, yo,
he's a creative player, bro.
100%.
He's literally a creative player in IRL.
I'm excited to see how that, like, just to watch his career and it develop. And
Yeah, and I love the team that's around him, the young team that's put around him. I love the confidence that those guys have. And I love the way they approached and started this season. Now, obviously we're going to see how the rest go, what's this next chunk, but the first 5 games, they took care of business, right?
Yes, they did.
And now you take it to the next 5 games until the next, and see how they can continue to keep, progressing as a young team with a young coach, but with somebody who ain't trying to wait too long neither. Like Wemby ain't trying to wait 7 years before it's his time. He actually trying to interrupt that conversation now. And so, I love that. I love him. I love somebody who's like, excuse me, I'm in this bitch.
Well, if you're talking about somebody that said, excuse me, there's a young fella out in Philadelphia.
VJ Edgecombe. Talk to me.
Bro, first of all, watching him gives me a lot of I look at him and I see, I'm biased, but I see a lot of you, of what you did when you first got into the league, and just exciting and just kind of like just not playing scared. And just watching him like their backcourt future is beautiful right now. Look at him and Maxx, he's falling.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I literally, for a moment, when this season first started and saw what VJ was doing and I saw what Maxie was doing, I forgot they had Embiid. I know that's crazy, but I forgot they had an MVP, a former MVP.
Just like everybody else. What have you done for me?
I did for a moment, because mind you, he hasn't been around for a while. I ain't gonna lie.
He's been dealing with a lot of injuries. Yeah, for sure.
But to watch, and mind you, I know what they need to do. They obviously need, like similar with the Lakers, if you want your full team, I like what I'm seeing with those 2 guys. And VJ specifically, like, he ain't coming in waiting for nobody.
Mm-hmm. We love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
we love that. We love a guy who don't wait their turn or is not slotted with. You're the 3rd pick. You don't supposed to be rookie of the year. You won the 1st pick. Like a guy that don't wait his turn. I got a chance to talk to VJ this summer in person at the Estee Lauder Intuition Lounge.
Remember that? Yep.
In New York. And first of all, I didn't know I thought he was about my height. He's actually taller than me.
Yes.
So he on the edge about 6'5.5", right? But you can look in someone's eyes and you can tell if they bullshitting you or not. And I think that the world got introduced to him really at the draft when you heard about his upbringing and him living off a generator. Because when you understand what someone's been through, then you know that they're capable of what he's been through. You know he's literally capable of anything because of where he's come from and now where he is and what he's accomplished. And so that's when we really got introduced to him. We've obviously, if you're a basketball fan, you've watched him at Baylor. You got a chance to watch him in the Bahamas, 305.
305.
305, everybody. But what I love about this kid is what everybody love about him. He, like a lot of kids nowadays got bop. I ain't saying he ain't got bop, but he ain't utilized. He don't need it. He's straight at you. And I think the similarities between, my game as a 2-guard and his game as a 2-guard is the right at you, downhill, I'm going to punch on you, and I don't care. I want you to jump. I want you to jump. And that's the similarities because, like, I was straight downhill at you. And when you see him go downhill, it looks like someone you saw before, right? You've seen before. And so definitely I had a lot of people like, yo, I see a little VJ, and I see some similarities. And I'm like, yeah, I do too.
Right.
As 2 young guys who's come in that wasn't projected to be the best necessarily in the draft, but is going to be talked about in that draft for a very long time to come. And so now his Rookie of the Year campaign and I'm Here campaign started right away.
Right.
It started in preseason.
Yes, it did.
And then if preseason wasn't enough, he go open the night on the road in Boston.
Bang.
Bang. I ain't seen everything I need to see. Sign me up. I am on the what we call it. Is it the train? Is it the wagon?
The train, wagon, all the vehicles.
I'm on it. But for me, obviously, I'm excited because of the position that he plays. And, that's the position where I'm always looking to see. They kind of try to get away from 2-guard position a little bit because everyone's so damn tall and long and, all these things when it comes to length, arm length and all that. Now it's like, oh, that was a new wave. But now it's like, no, that's guys who under 6'7" can hoop.
They can hoop.
And we need those guys at the 2-guard position. That who's next in this conversation. And so Ant Edwards obviously is in that conversation when you talk about the possibility of being great. When you mention the names of that's in the 2-guard conversation. And now we have a new young guy that excites us, and he's in that conversation.
Knocking on that door right now.
Yeah. And so the what is it? VJ Maxx. Cold nickname, by the way. The VJ Maxx nickname.
That is
I'm on board. We already know that Tyrese Maxey is one of them dudes. He's proven that. He's continued to prove that. Bro, I saw some highlights of Maxey, and I forgot, and I was watching this game. Last year in the Garden, in the playoffs, I remember they was down like 6 or 7 or something like that, and the shots that he made, the N1 3 that he made to get a 4-point play. Okay. But then the next time down, he came across, they set a high pick and roll, damn near half court, and he took one step and just drained that mug to tie it as there was like a few seconds left. And I was just like, I love this kid, dog. Because you don't take that shot if you're scared. He ain't scared. And I love a guy who ain't scared. You know, I grew up playing in the street, so we love a guy who ain't scared of nothing or no one.
Right.
And that's missing or making a shot, right? And so I love this backcourt. You know, when you get a chance to get 2 dynamic guards.
They did that.
You build around that.
They did that.
And so shout out to Philly on drafting VJ at number 3. I would think a lot of people would have thought that he should have went maybe a little lower, or, you know, they didn't see enough and see if he was worthy of that position. Well, Philly saw enough and they brought him in. And so we get a backcourt, bro, to follow. And I'm a shooting guard. I'm a slashing combo guard. This is perfect for me. You think I was watching last night, Chicago Bulls and 76ers.
I love it.
I watched a lot of games, but like definitely I'm tuning in.
Yeah.
And so, man, I love this guy. I love this ability to be able to punch on you. And I like when he took off for Boston and Jaylen Brown did that fake hustle and he dunked that joint and he looked at him like, how dare you? Ooh, I was like, I'm about to go get a jersey.
Have you been following this Ja stuff going on in the Grizzlies?
Yeah.
Memphis? Does it start to look similar to something?
Yeah. Very similar. It looks a little similar to one of the storylines we had last year, obviously with Jimmy and the Heat.
Right.
But other storylines we've had in other times in the NBA.
Facts.
You know, it's very unfortunate when you have a relationship that, you know, obviously a few years ago looked so promising.
They were next.
Yeah, it looks so promising
for
the young guys and for what they were building for the city of Memphis, for Ja. And then now we're here. We're here where it's not looking promising. Let me just be as professional as I can be on my. But it's just not looking promising from you know, can relationships, you know, obviously, can you make up? Can you mend certain things? Yeah, but you got to be both sides has to really be willing to do that. And so you're in a space where the media gets involved, where conversations on the outside start to leak in. You got other teams out there that's like this. So let's talk about Ja. That wasn't, you know, in the picture. And now it complicates things a lot. And it's early in the season, and you got a team that, you know, came in with some hopes, and they had their guys healthy to start the year. You was going to see Ja and Triple J play together healthy. They haven't really done that in the last 2 years. Like, they came in with some excitement.
Yep.
And then here we go. We ain't 10 games into the season. And now you got teams calling like,
yeah, I sent the text to Miami. Like, hey, are we looking? Are we just kicking the tires?
Yeah, I don't. You know what I mean, man. Just like I said with Jimmy, I don't like it for the game. You know what I mean? And I know all the parts of it is a part of the game.
Yeah,
right? This is all a part of entertainment.
Right.
So everything can't be Pleasantville. We understand that. But I know most of the time that it gets like this, the player, you know, is the one that's really going to be painted as the bad guy when it comes down to it, right? Like, the organization get a chance to hide behind the shield.
They do.
The player has to be out there as his name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't like that for the player side of the game. And I played, and I'm on the other side as well.
Yeah.
I'm the, you know, investment of the league. And so I don't like it overall. And, you know, when we have a lot of conversations going on about our game that's not just about basketball and how we should be elevating and highlighting the game, but also, too, it's unrealistic. So hopefully we weather this. We get through this. Hopefully Ja weathers it. As a former player, you sit here. I saw Rudy Gay talk about this the other night. Is, if you can go back when you were in certain situations, you will handle them different.
Right.
And in real time, you just want Ja to focus on the game of basketball. You want to see Ja be Ja no matter what's going on behind the scenes and actually in front of the cameras. I still want to see you put on that show. I still want you to be that player. And we talk about not having that joy, you know what I'm saying? Like, we want to see that. And he doesn't have that right now. Mm-hmm. And that's unfortunate because this guy has so much talent.
So much.
That we've got a chance to, obviously see and follow. So, man, hopefully they rectify the situation. But I definitely know them calls has been them long rings.
Long
like, them rings that nobody want to hang up?
Same, yes. And you wait until the end. Like you said, if your voicemail ain't gonna pick up, I'm gonna keep on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna stay on it.
And so it's unfortunate. But, obviously we gonna all follow it because we all get excited about, our favorite players getting an opportunity to play in certain of your favorite markets or on your favorite team. And so, yeah, let's see. Locked and loaded.
We're talking about favorite markets. I've officially become Miami's always home. Miami's always going to be home. But you only have to be win once in your lifetime to be considered a champion.
Like, what you mean? Any level?
Any level. Because mind you might have won in high school.
Well, you considered a champion of that level.
But no. When you say I'm a champion, you don't say I'm a champion of the NBA. You say I'm a champion.
Yeah.
So if you won a champion as a high school player, aren't you considered still a champion?
I mean, yeah, technically.
So if you won a championship,
but are you having conversations with people in high school? Or you having conversations with people in the pros?
In life.
Well, they know. Listen.
In life.
What have you done for me lately? That high school championship was probably.
But you're a winner though. You've won.
Yeah, you've won before. And
so you might have won in the rec league potentially, got a trophy and everything. You're a champion.
You've been a champion. You're not a champion. You've been a champion.
So
like, I've been a champion. I'm not a champion right now. I've been a champion. I've won 3 championships in my 43 years on this earth. I've been a champion. I am not one right now.
Okay, so it's semantics.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a winner, right? I've won before, so I'm a winner forever. But like, I just.
So you're not like a champion forever?
I've been a champion.
You've been a champion.
Yeah, they're gonna call me champ because I've won before, but I've won at the levels that people can call me champ on. They're not calling me champ on my high school Sicka North division.
But if you
conference championship.
But if you won a national championship in college, you're not a champ?
Well, okay, so it depends on what levels we're talking about. Melo won a national championship in college. I always call Melo champ. Melo's won Olympic gold medals. I call him champ. Yeah. He didn't win in the NBA. So that don't mean I don't call him a champ. So yeah, I call him a champ. He's been a champion before.
Right. All right. I'm just saying, because I've won a couple levels too.
I'm not going down them levels you talking about to call you a champ though. Like, I'm not. It ends for me. It's college.
That's a cutoff point.
Yeah, man. Listen, bro.
I'll tell you,
you know how many people can sit around and have these high school stories?
Hey, bro, I'm just saying, if you won, you won.
But I feel like Magic. He has 18 championships. We're talking about all 18 because he continues to win those. If it stopped at 4 when he was back in Lansing, Michigan, then we wouldn't be talking about him as a champion today.
All right.
We wouldn't even be talking about that.
You're right.
So
all right, I'll give you that.
You still gotta keep adding championship type hardware. You can't stop at the rec league and think that you're still gonna be called a champ. That's all I'm saying. Like, I need so in the facets of the life that you're doing now, if I'm walking in and I see, Emmys or you up for EGOT or you up for Oscars and all that in this media world, then you a champ if I see those things laid out. But if I don't see those, I can't give you champ. I give you.
All right. I'm with you on that. I'm not necessarily with you on that. I'm a champ, but I got you though.
Semantics. It's semantics. But it just depends on who you're having the conversation with. If you're having somebody who's never won a high school championship, you can go ahead and talk about it. But if you're sitting with Magic Johnson, don't even bring up your high school championship. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't even compute for 18 championships. And so,
for none of us. Well, maybe not for you, but I'm sure. But for me, I'm gonna go okay with that. I'm okay with saying I'll keep it on the wraps.
I only had one conversation with Magic about championships, and that's my 3 NBA and his 5 NBA. I can't talk about college. I can't talk about high school. I can't talk about after sports.
You got to go. You got to go.
Yeah, I can talk about Olympics. We can talk about Olympics. But like I'm saying, like we can have a few conversations, but like we can't have it. I can't.
Conversations.
I wasn't there. I don't know how that feels. I definitely don't know. But like,
okay.
You know,
I'm with you on that. All right.
I can't talk about rec league because I never won a rec league championship. I don't know how hard it is to do that.
Do you think you can win the rec league now?
If I was to play in a rec league right now and win a rec league championship, like I'm definitely gonna celebrate it. Like just like the Lakers celebrated winning the in-season tournament and the bubble. Goddamn right. These are champions. Is it a finals game on here? Is it a series? Then I'm a champion.
Say less. All right.
You know what I mean? Like I've won my spades tournament. In spades, I'm a champ. And even if I don't win no more right now, I've done it at my all-star level. I'm a champ.
All right, I'm with you on that. You know what?
You a champ in spades. And
you know what? I'm good with that right there. Yeah. We can leave that right there. You know what I'm saying? We can leave that right there. We're talking about college. You was just in Colorado.
Yeah, I was just in Colorado. Yeah.
And young fellow. I almost hit you with the old man term, like rumble, hit the young fellow, rumble, young man, rumble.
Rumble, young man, rumble. Yeah, bro.
How was that? I know you was, cool. As far as being, I see Chris, I know Chris was so like.
Bro, proud dad.
Oh my gosh.
You know that proud dad feel.
Oh my gosh, yes I do.
You just beaming, bro. You're smiling at everything. You know what I mean? You're nervous. You got anxiety, but you try not to show it. You just want your seed to go out there and, you know, and put on. I think the biggest thing what you want is you want to see them show up for themselves because you can't help them no more.
Right.
You can yell things from the sideline, but they ain't really locked into that. Like the work has to be put in, you know, at a certain point by them. And so you don't know. You got to see. And so to be able to go to Isaiah's first college game, man, was something that, you know, we've been discussing and talking about for so many years. When I met, you know, the Johnson family, Isaiah was 9 years old. And so I go back to the kid in Chicago that was in the workouts with me and Jimmy at night, doing all the things or passing to us, but also to getting in some of the drills, right? I go back to this young kid that I've watched over the years, put the work in, you know what I mean? Yes, his father is one of the top trainers and, you know, he has access to all that, but he had to want it and he had to put it in as a 6'1", 170-pound freshman. Right. And so, man, just to be there, to support the family, to be a part of the beginning journey of the next part of this young man's career, to be an uncle. I've heard I'm his godfather now. That was out there. So to be a godfather to Isaiah, but just to be a part of the family, man, and be there to support them. You know, we always talk about the most important thing, and you know me, Bob, is I can't be everywhere and I can't do everything and I won't be perfect and none of at all these things. But what I will do is I will show up.
You do.
100%. I will show up. I'll show up for the people I love. Yeah. People who show up for me, I show up. And so I just wanted to be there to show up for the family and show up for Isaiah. But to watch that young man have, you know, obviously he had a freshman first half. He had 0 points in the first half. He did some good things, though. He made some great passes. He brought the energy in the first half. He took a big charge. So he did a lot of things in the first half that, you know, it's probably not sexy or was what they're going to talk about the next day. But to watch him come out in the second half, and this young man has come off the bench as well. He's a freshman coming off the bench. And he scored 24 points in the second half as a freshman in his first game. Balling. The mental toughness that takes to not be down on yourself, to not overanalyze things and question things. I do have to, as his parents said, at the halftime, Chris and Naima got together and they was just like, I've never seen him not score his entire life. He's always scored from probably when he first hit his first basket as a young jit to now going to college all through preseason. He's always scored. They've never seen a half where he hasn't scored. This was the first half. It was his first freshman game. He was 0 points. He ended with 24, so he got to it. But the biggest thing was watching this young man show up for himself, man. You know what I mean? And that's all you want. You provide the resources for your kids to do the things that they want to do or a dream of theirs, or you have all these resources for them and you just want them to, you know, work hard at something that they love. And you want to see that work on display. You want them to put that work, don't work for nothing. Put that out there on display. And the young man put it out there on display. in front of the entire world. Just so proud of him. Yeah.
That was so dope.
Bro.
Did you see the clip with Kiyan playing as well?
Yep. First game, 15 points, 6 for 10 from the field, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. But as everyone said, it was his commitment to the other end of the floor, the defensive end of the floor, which probably got him active into the game, which takes away nerves because you focus on something else. And like he said, he had to play with the first unit. He's been playing with the second unit for the most part. So he had to be prepared to be able to, like, you know what I'm saying, take the head off and put another hat on in his first game because I believe in injury. But to be able to watch, once again, a young man that I remember going to, I think he played with the NY Gauchos. I think it's the Gauchos. And I remember going to see a tournament because, once again, like I said, I always try to show up for my people. And we were in, say we were in Vegas, and Zaire, who was older, they were in a tournament, but also Kiyan was having a tournament. He was in like 3rd grade or something. And we went to the tournament. I mean, I went there, and, Mel and La was there. And just to see that young kid who, could make an open shot, but, it wasn't like the other kids that was like more physically fit, athletic, doing certain things. And you just kind of look at them like, okay, like, the lineage that he come from, the resources that he had, but like, is this something that he's going to want to be great at?
Right.
Is he going to want to put the work in to be great? And to watch him over the years put that work in, you know what I'm saying? Obviously right there with his pops. And to see him get that moment where, now he had to stand on his own, really had to stand on his own, and go to a big shadow. Syracuse, Melo, one of the greatest ever played, that one year, but one of the greatest careers. That's hard to follow.
Yes.
And to come out and do that on the first game. Proud pops, man. You saw Melo. If you got a chance to see him, he was in the studio smiling, but, same thing, nervous. It's, you know what I mean? Come on, champ. And so it was just really good to see. I love their relationship. I love, the relationship between, Kiyan and La that we get to experience. We get to watch a young man who seems like the most humble kid ever when it comes to, the family that he's a part of, but really focus on his goals and what he want to accomplish himself. Yeah. And he's going out there, man, and he's showing up for himself, and he's going to grab it. You know what I mean? He's always had to go to be in the league. And so you put on a performance like that, you got the scouts like, okay. And so now now you've been talked about. So yeah, bro, it was a great night from that standpoint, for sure. Opening night in college basketball.
It was great. And I'm gonna land it on the last proud pop moment. Bron wearing the jersey at the game.
Oh yeah. When Bryce jersey number 6. Yeah. Yeah. That was a subtle flex as a parent.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? That was a parent flex right there. I got my oldest son sitting right next to me.
Ooh.
With a Laker jersey on that says James Jr. Then I got my other son, in college playing. Yeah, man, that was a flex, bro. And it's, for me, obviously, from a media standpoint, so much conversations around the James family when it comes to all the things, but especially basketball. Ultimately, knowing the family and knowing that basketball is, such a foundation for them, and that's why we know of them is from the sport. And to see the family lineage continue to keep playing the sport, and they have to go down their own journey, and Pops is a part of it, obviously. But one day he won't be, right? One day he'll be on the other side and watching him do everything. And so just to see him have that proud pop moment, representing his son as the season was about to kick off, man, that's dope. These moments that we're talking about, these are a father's dream.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a mom's dream and everybody else's dream, but in these sports, and if you played that sport and you were Pops, some of the conversations we talking about, bro, that's all you want.
That's all you want.
You want to have these moments and these opportunities to be able to sit there with your chest poked out.
And back straight.
And these guys doing that. So I love to see, these fathers, these black fathers have an opportunity to poke their chest out and feel proud about their kids. Just like kids, I felt proud about them. You know what I mean? Like, Kav loves the fact that I'm her dad. She's proud of it, right? And then your kids get to an age where you become their dad, and that's all it is. Oh, that's AJ's dad, right? You lose your name, but when AJ out there kicking that goal with that left foot, you be out there,
bro,
chest out, proud,
running down the field,
you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro, it's incredible, and that was a nice little salute and flex by Bron, wearing that number 6 Arizona jersey underneath.
That was dope.
Yeah, that was cool. Man, listen, as always, man, just checking in, catching up. As I always talk about, like, this platform for me is a voice, is my voice to talk about topics. talk about conversations, to introduce you guys to Trey. But just, continue to, be my own publicist at time, my own PR on these things, man. But just, taking some time at the same time, like in the midst of this, taking time to be able to have things to come back and talk about.
Right.
I think that's the one thing when it comes to this sit down with you and I is, taking time away and then coming back and you have more things to talk about or more experiences as well to share. More light to shine on certain, topics and conversations. And so it's good, man, to be able to get this out. So I'm glad to be back in this cadence right now.
Thanks.
To be able to sit here and just have this conversation, for sure.
Yes, man.
So before I get off here, shout out to the Utah Mammoth. Y'all see me tusk up. Hockey team. Y'all see the logo. What's is on this side?
Yeah.
Where the hockey logo at?
On that side.
Yeah, shout out to SCG. And obviously NBA team, hockey team in Utah. So I'm rocking the sweater, so tusk up. You know
tusk
what I'm saying?
Up.
That's where we at.
I love that. I love that phrase, tusk up.
Yeah, tusk up. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Counterpoint as well for sending me this gear. But man, just really excited about, the sports right now, like in my life. So like, I'm in sports time of the year.
You're in sports mode right now.
So locked in.
Locked in.
Let's go. Till next time, we'll see you guys. Tap in with us, check in.
Take a time out.